Okay, I think that we can start. So, welcome to all. Here we are in Nice, in France, on the side of the Mediterranean, and the UN Ocean Conference, the third UN Ocean Conference. I'm Domenico Vito. I'm a researcher at the Metabolism of Cities Living Lab at San Diego State University and also founder of the Climate Social Forum. And together with a lot of partners, as you can see here from the slide in my screen, we are presenting this side event that is related to the community engagement for coastal protection and marine debris management, citizen science experience, and new governance models. So we are in the best venue for talking about this topic. We are in the Out of Plastic Pavilion here at the green zone of the UNOC3 conference in Nice. We very thank also the Out of Plastic Pavilion for hosting us today and to have like in common our mission to talk about marine litter and also how to reduce the production of marine litter and trash and plastic pollution on the seasides. So I will briefly introduce the session because we have a lot of speakers and a lot of experiences. This session was thought properly to talk about strategies on how to engage the communities in coastal protection and also in understanding and also reducing the impact on plastic pollution, especially on the beach and on the tourism sector. So the communities are, of course, sometimes the first producers of marine waste, but also if engaged can be really the first solution. Also in the term of monitoring, and in fact we will show some experiences of citizen science monitoring of the presence of beach litter on the shore. So I will start now with the panelists. It's important to talk about youth engagement also when you're talking about citizen engagement. And the first speaker of the panel is Barbara Monticelli, that now I'll give the floor. Before giving the floor to Barbara, I want really to thank also the co-organizer of this event, the Giving Left to Nature volunteers from Ghana, that together with us, they are collaborating since a lot of time properly on fostering on climate education, but as well also in mapping and reducing the marine litter pollution. So I will stop here. Now I'll give the floor to Barbara, that I very thank for being here with us. Barbara, the floor is yours.
Thanks a lot, Domenico, and good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here with you, even if from a little bit far away. I'm currently in Brussels. And I'm a PhD student at UNOC3 University. I'm focusing on youth inclusion and empowerment in the climate negotiations. And I'm currently working also for Earth Day and Education International, focusing on climate education. So that's why today I'm here to talk about one of the main targets that are actually the most infected by climate change, usually seen just by victims, but actually they're the quite protagonists of in terms of advocacy and climate actions. I'm clearly talking about youth. So to just make the presentation a little bit more engaging and interesting, I'm gonna share with you some slides. Okay, can you see them correctly? Yes, okay, perfect. Thanks a lot. So what I would like to talk about is the engagement that starts basically from the local level in coastal areas, mainly through education. And we will see different kinds of education, which arrives until the global arena, so at international level, to see the impact that starting from a local engagement action can bring. So just few general information about climate education. What I would like you to know is that currently the 70% of youth cannot still explain what climate change is. Even though 65% of students would like to learn more about climate change. On the other side, from the side who has to teach, 95% of primary and secondary teachers feel that teaching climate change is important, but only 30% of them actually express readiness to teach it. And this is extremely important. Indeed, since youth usually do not find the support they look for in their school environment, they usually rely on other sources, mainly environmental NGOs, and as you can see, but also education and learning organizations, also outside from schools, and other youth groups, blogs and social media channels, and local political associations. So these are the main channels through which youth, as a part and representative of the civil society, engage into climate initiatives and start learning about climate change. As I said, we in this huge context, let's say, we have different kind of initiatives. So we have local little initiatives. For instance, here you can see one initiative in the Philippines that engages not just with the general youth, but specifically with the indigenous youth of the Kasiguaranin indigenous community, which is extremely important, as we know, since indigenous really have the knowledge and the capacity to make us learn how to actually live with nature and how to protect it and regenerate it, actually listening and acting in a very sustainable way. But also, if from one side we have very little local level initiatives, we can have more international initiatives. This is the example of some teachers that are part of member organizations and unionists that through Education International organize projects for conservation of sea turtles. And you can see how these projects include youth from any age, from very young, like primary school, to university students. And then we also have other cases, like the one of the NGO Care for Coral, that literally became an example, and they created a model through a research academic paper to actually have an impact and empower also other youth NGO. Indeed, they they based on this multidimensional approach that they were using, and they started using this by observing other youth NGOs in coral in coastal areas. They designed this process, this approach that all NGOs, youth-led NGOs, can apply in order to amplify their impact. These are some images of the NGOs, and what you can see is how their local action and education reach then to the international scene. Indeed, on our right, you can see how they arrived to the youth champion level and the other international conferences. And why this is important? This is important because, as we might know, local action is as much important as international action. And youth usually are underestimated, and unfortunately sometimes due to the intergenerational gap and other barriers, they do not may have access as much as they should have to negotiation, decision-making processes, policy level, internationally speaking. even though there are researches that actually show how their presence into delegations can bring a very, very high impact in terms of innovation and resilience. So this is to say that if we have a look at the Global Youth Stocktake done by Yango and released at COP28, we can see, for instance, in the local conference of youth, climate change conference of youth in Costa Rica in 2022, the representation of these different groups. And you can see that the 7% of youth participating in this event was 7%. Then we have an 18% also of indigenous. So this means that as we go through, of course, difficulties remains, but there's a very high improvement in terms also of diversity and inclusion of youth. And this is an example of how Yango young members from the Philippines were acting locally to then arrive in the international arena to actually bring their own perspective, their solution and problems, and to let them be heard by decision makers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barbara, for giving us the perspective of the youths. As we will see gradually as we are going into the panel, engaging the youth is the first way to like start a change. We will see also several campaigns that are working properly on that. But properly talking about education and properly talking that we are here into a UN conference is important also. As also Barbara stated, engage the UN level, but also the UN education level. And I'm very pleased now to introduce the next speaker of the panel, that is Nidhi Nagabhatia from the United Nations University. She's also part of the UN think tank to achieve sustainable development and also of UNOC3. It's a pleasure and an honor to invite her here. She's a colleague, she's a researcher, and like we met really in a COP venue, properly in a UN environment, and suddenly find a very good synergy properly on how to include the SDGs in every action that also we are putting into research. So I'll give the floor to Nidhi. So thank you very much. Go.
So here. I hope you can see me. Thanks, Domenico, for inviting me, and also all to our virtual panelists. Well, I'm going to also reiterate that point of synergy. Maybe if you can see me, we are together here. If I will reiterate the point of synergy, I think SDGs have given us a platform where we can put together collective goals by plugging into different SDGs. SDG 14 is very much the platform that will give us targets, goals, how to forward our agenda that we are doing in a localized manner or at a national level or at a regional level. SDG 16 to strengthen our institutions, and these institutions are not just formal institutions, but institutions at the local level, community level. So to also make a horizontal and vertical integration in multi-level governance to handle this crisis. And the European integration is one such model, I mean, where the countries are integrating, but this is an agenda. Learning from that, we can also put it into a specific agenda. Here it is more or less SDG 14, or cleaning up our coastal environment, providing resilience for coastal communities. I would also say SDG 17, again, is a sort of a benchmark SDG in goal with targets and indicators that helps us to formulate and synthesize our efforts towards plugging it into larger goals, which could be the climate action goal, which could be the goal on CBD related biodiversity goals, or other goals related to water, managing our water security, our land security, human security. So these are pathways, I would say, that we should leverage as different stakeholders who have aligned to the UN agenda through the Sustainable Development Goals and related pathways. I would also like to say that citizen science has not been given the relevance it should have in the whole reporting structures of the UN, but we should collectively lobby for that. And I think not just the major stakeholders and the other groups, including children and youth. We have structures like Yongo, but going beyond that, we also need to mobilize the knowledge that youth are either a part of generating or are learning from these high-level events like COPs or like UN Ocean Environment to be those champions who can then go back to schools, primary schools, secondary schools, and see that we are able to give and percolate that knowledge to our young generation, the leaders in the making, who are still in a very primary setup and are very distant from these challenges that we are discussing in these high-level events. But they will be forced to be either exposed to these challenges or becoming a part of solution providers. So why not prepare them in advance by giving them some kind of I would say customized knowledge about this. And this is also important as we are working on how climate change impacts the mental health and psychosocial stress. Now in the digital environment, we are exposed to many kind of information, but also misinformation and disinformation, which can cause us anxiety about our survival, about our future. And I think it is a collective responsibility that we take the knowledge that we are gaining in these events through the interaction that we are having today in this session, and we take it to all the stakeholders we see around, be it community level, be it our household level, be it our schools or professional space, our public and personal space, so that we are able to collectively think about solutions, but also collectively manage the anxiety that we are facing as a global community, looking around the forest fires, the drying lands, the polluted rivers. One more thing is to also figure out the interconnectivity. We can't clean our oceans if we can't clean our rivers. So freshwater pollution is so much interconnected to coastal pollution, coastal resilience. It is all in this nexus that we operate as a UN agency. I'm happy to collaborate and approach each one of you how we can do this together. Thanks, Domenico, for bringing us together.
Thank you very much, Nidhi, and thank you for your very insightful words. I will take the chance to say a few things also following up what Nidhi was saying. It's important, and also is the framework of the SDGs to act in synergy and to find synergy also with different fields. That's why also together, also with the collaboration with Nidhi, we are launching for the next October the International One Health Conference. One Health is a framework that properly is connecting the health of the environment to the human health and also animal health. And once more, also this concept of One Health was present here into this conference where we are talking about healthy oceans, healthy seas for healthy humans. And properly talking about oceans, that's, of course, the first ocean is the Atlantic for Europeans. It's a pleasure and honor to invite on the floor Dr. Gabriela Fernandez, that is a colleague, the director of the department of the laboratory, and also Dr. Siddharth Suresh Babu, that they are going to introduce a little bit the activities that the Metabolism of Cities Living Lab is doing to localize the SDGs, and in particular, some activities of citizen science regarding marine litter. So please, the floor to Dr. Gabriela Fernandez and Siddharth.
Yes, thank you again. Siddharth, if you want to start with the first slide.
Just a second.
Yeah. So today I want to talk a little bit about the work that we do at Metabolism of Cities Living Lab. We're a laboratory at San Diego State University. We're under the Center for Human Dynamics in the Mobile Age. We work on projects always advocating for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, not only in Southern California, in the Mexico region, but in different places around the world. We're located in different regions, as you can see in the map. in different areas in Central America, South America, Europe, as well as Africa. We develop several different projects that focus on social, environmental, and economic dimensions, but always very data-oriented solution. I teach master students in big data analytics, and some of our students create very technical technologies. We worked on everything from creating SDGs in actions, creating webinars for youth. I'm also working closely with students as they develop projects regarding the SDGs, citizen science activities, as we will be discussing today, some different technologies that we have also advocated for vulnerable communities. In this case, we had worked closely with children, and we have an MOU with Milan in Italy, as well as in Mexico, in Tijuana. And for the past couple of years, we have developed international conferences and interactive dashboards as well. So I'm going to turn it over to Siddharth, who will talk a little bit more of the work that we have been doing regarding ocean science. Thank you.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Siddharth, and I'm working as a researcher with the Metabolism of Cities Living Lab at San Diego State University. And today I would like to talk to you about two projects with the Metabolism of Cities Living Lab. The first one is Trash to Treasure project, and the second project is using AI for microplastic detection. Before we start, just a little bit about myself. I've been working with the Metabolism of Cities Living Lab for more than a year now. We also, I'd also like to introduce my teammate, Dipsy, who is working mostly on the Trash to Treasure project. And as you've already met, my mentor, Dr. Gabriela Fernandez, and Dr. Domenico Vito. So to move to the first project, Trash to Treasure, it's an educational platform about marine pollution. You have the QR code to go to the website. The problem, there is nearly 15 to 51 trillion plastic pieces in the ocean today, and 80% of marine debris is plastic, affecting ecosystems globally, affecting sea life. One of the biggest notable impact of plastic pollution is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, nearly twice the size of Texas. 80% of the mass is larger plastic, which then breaks into microplastics. The impact of this garbage patch on the wildlife is that nearly 24,000 tons of plastic is ingested by fish and sea life annually. So to combat and help reduce plastic waste, we would like to introduce the Trash to Treasure bot. What the bot does is it provides insights on trash types and proper disposal methods. It also shares the real-time data on beach cleanup events, and also helps users understand sustainability and marine protection. Combines technology and citizen science to help reduce marine pollution. So I let a screenshot or a snapshot of the Trash to Treasure bot. So when you go onto the website and when you access the Trash to Treasure bot, you can share a picture from your phone saying, "I found this plastic water bottle on the beach. What should I do with it? How do I dispose it?" And then it'll give you a breakdown of what kind of plastic an average water bottle is composed of, and what is the best course of action. Maybe it's a recyclable kind of plastic. Maybe you have to break it down before you dispose it. And also, you could also ask the bot how or what are the most common types of trash found in the oceans, and what you can do to help reduce such trash in the ocean and on the beaches. And also, you can use the bot to just as a general guidance to learn more about marine pollution, ocean pollution, and its impacts on sea life. Our impact using the Trash to Treasure bot and its features, we have collected around 156 kilograms of trash, more than 6+ research papers published. We have held 5 impactful cleanup events. We're looking for healthy engagement, and we're looking forward to its great positive impact towards cleaning up the oceans and the beaches. Moving to the next, the second project that we are working on, advancing microplastic detection using AI, MRI, and high-resolution photography. The problem is that the most prominent problem is that the current existing detection techniques are labor-intensive, are very technology-reliant, and not scalable. That is to say, there are very few options for a non-invasive, high-accuracy method to monitor environmental and public health. So we propose a high-resolution imaging which we combine with AI and ML techniques to efficiently detect and classify microplastics with the images we can take from our phones. So the goals of the project is to firstly collect, curate, and annotate image samples. Currently, we are collecting images from the Mediterranean Sea, specifically from the coast of Tunisia, and then identify the presence of microplastics, and then go on to classify what kind of plastic it is. Currently, we've identified 6 categories of plastics: polyethylene, PET, LDPE, HDPE, and so on. And also quantify, which is to say measure the size, the shape, and how confident are we about the type of plastic and its classification. The future work of the project is to incorporate chemical analysis to improve the accuracy and the robustness of the model. A snapshot of a demonstration of what we have so far. This project is still a work in progress. We're still working on improving the accuracy of the model. To begin with, just a snapshot of the project. Step 1, we collect the image. Step 2 is to identify, that is to say, we draw boundaries around the plastic particulate matter. If you can look closely, you can observe the thin white boundaries around the plastic pieces. And then we feed this image into the model, which can then classify what kind of plastic it is and attach a confidence score to it. So right now, the model is not as accurate as we would like to be. We are still training the model. We're still improving the accuracy. But one of the better performing classes is the HDPE classes, and we are close to or more than 90% sure that the identified pieces in the image is a HDPE kind of plastic. Another example of any other random miscellaneous objects you could see on the seashore or on the beach. So you could see seaweeds, you could see pieces of wood, seashell. So those don't necessarily come under the plastic classification. So we are also trying to build and annotate the images such that it only picks up the plastic pieces and not just the natural seaweed or the seashells that you find on the beaches. And we have also had good success with that. I can say around the average accuracy and the confidence score of identifying such naturally occurring components is close to 90%. But currently the hurdles we are facing right now is the task of annotating the images and building the data set to train the model. It is very time consuming and labor consuming. So we are currently trying to automate this process of drawing boundaries and annotating the images. And also, we're trying to think of more features to include, maybe the texture of the plastic, maybe the reflection of light from the pieces of the plastic. So yeah, this project is currently a work in progress. Yeah, and thank you for your time, and thank you for your patience.
Thank you very much, Siddharth, and congratulations for your work. Actually, data and AI can really make a great support, especially in monitoring and also in detecting the microplastic in the sea. And I hope that also this technology and also project like the one that Siddharth is doing can really, you can say, advance and also increase our knowledge about this paramount problem of the microplastic and the plastic pollution. So let's go back into the Mediterranean. Now we are going to move a little bit in the south. Here we are in Nice, but the Mediterranean is a wide sea. And there is also, say, the southern Mediterranean that is, first of all, an open lab of biodiversity, of marine conservation, but also sometimes, unfortunately, also a lab where the problem of the plastic and microplastic is very concentrated. Let's go to now Calabria. Calabria is the one of the southern region of Italy. And I'm very glad that today in this venue, that is an international venue, is here with us Maria Piatucci, that I will invite to the floor. Maria Piatucci will perform the presentation in Italian, and we will make a brief synthesis for everyone at the end. So, Maria Piatucci, thank you very much for being with us. Grazie per essere qui con noi. Quindi lascio a te la parola e condivido nel frattempo lo schermo per la tua presentazione.
Grazie Domenico, grazie a tutti, grazie di aver accolto questo lavoro, che è un lavoro collettivo, arriva dall'Italia, e condivido con voi una pratica, una buona pratica, un'esperienza che stiamo attraversando insieme ad un gruppo di persone, delle quali alcune sono già qui con noi in questa occasione. L'esperienza è la nostra esperienza di traverso che ha a che fare, nel mio specifico caso, con i concetti di comunità e di comunicazione. Io sono una laureata in conservazione dei beni culturali, ma mi occupo ormai da tempo di giornalismo, di ufficio stampa e di comunicazione. Comunicazione legata alla cultura e legata al sociale, con particolare riferimento alla regione Calabria, quindi questa regione dell'Italia che conta 780 chilometri di costa, e che per questo abbiamo deciso di attraversarla insieme a questo gruppo che ha preso questo nome, e a me piace pensarlo come un laboratorio aperto, come un gruppo che vuole sperimentarsi e sperimentare insieme alle comunità delle buone pratiche, addivenendo però a delle conclusioni anche, no, che hanno a che fare, in questo caso, che è la cosa di cui oggi vi parlerò, a quelle che è stato il nostro impatto sociale in qualche maniera, no, sul tema della condivisione con le comunità locali di esperienze che possono portarci alla cura del territorio, alla cura del mare, ma anche, perché no, alla conoscenza tra persone e all'engagement in qualche maniera di quelle che sono le competenze trasversali. Perché ci siamo chiamati Traverso? Si può andare avanti? Ci siamo chiamati Traverso perché mi hanno assecondata, devo dire la verità, in questa che è anche una passione per il mare vissuta a bordo di barca a vela. L'andatura di traverso è una situazione in cui il vento soffia in maniera perpendicolare rispetto alle direzioni di prua, quindi all'andamento della barca, e che possiamo andare avanti, e che ti mette nelle condizioni di dover gestire continuamente, no, la navigazione. Ci è sembrato interessante mettere questo in parallelo con, possiamo andare avanti Domenico? Con quello che era il nostro intento, cioè sapere di trovarci in una condizione climatica e anche di cambiamenti continui e repentini, così come accade in questa che è un po' la nostra navigazione, rispetto alle condizioni climatiche e alle condizioni anche a cui ci dobbiamo in qualche maniera adattare. Ma come adattarsi in maniera sicura, efficace, e anche come fare rete. Ecco, quindi un po' queste sono state le nostre intenzioni di partenza. Possiamo andare ancora avanti? Sono state le nostre intenzioni di partenza e l'abbiamo vissuta come è in realtà un po' per tutti una sfida che ci chiama però ad essere parte, no, di un sistema e ad offrire modelli utili per poter affrontare insieme alla comunità scientifica una cosa in particolare. Ci siamo dati, quella di riuscire ad addivenire ad un modello di porto turistico che sia sostenibile, no? Questo era il nostro intento principale, anche se poi ci siamo ritrovati anche a confrontarci su altre tematiche e su altre esperienze. Quindi siamo in grado di affrontare quello che è il nostro cambiamento in atto, quello che è il cambiamento dell'ambiente intorno a noi, con un particolare riferimento ovviamente al mare, all'invasione delle plastiche e da una parte è alla tutela, e non solo, e alla tutela invece di quello che è un ecosistema ben formato. E quindi ci siamo un po' ritrovati. Possiamo andare avanti, Dome? E quindi chi siamo? Lo dicevamo, siamo un po' parte del gruppo che è anche qui presente, quindi non devo dirvi nulla che non sappiamo, e possiamo andare ancora avanti di quelli che siamo. E dove abbiamo iniziato a sperimentare? Questo è un panorama importante del Mediterraneo, ma il dove significava anche chi siamo. Questo è lo stretto che unisce Calabria e Sicilia, conosciuto come lo stretto di Messina, che ha delle caratteristiche non solo ambientali, ma di correnti, quindi anche per la navigazione, molto particolari e uniche nel suo genere. Possiamo andare avanti, Domenico? Ecco, lo vediamo da un'inquadratura dall'alto. Questa foto è scattata da uno dei paesi che risale la costa e che ci fa ben vedere qual è il punto stretto. Sono proprio i due piloni, che è poco più di 1,5 miglia tra Capopeloro in Sicilia e Torrecavallo vicino a Scilla, dalla parte della Calabria. Che cosa in questo 1,5 miglia così stretto, cosa accade però? Accade che si incrociano due correnti diverse. Queste correnti diverse danno vita a gorghi, maree molto differenti, ma significa anche della vitalità sopra e sotto le acque dello stretto, che è unica, probabilmente unica al mondo. Noi troviamo passaggi di delfini, di balene, ma troviamo nei fondali gorgonie o piuttosto coralli rari, o addirittura pesci abissali che vanno che vanno ad affrontare poi le coste, soprattutto nel posto dove noi siamo stati, cioè Villa San Giovanni, che vanno ad affrontare poi quello che è l'abbassamento e l'innalzamento delle maree, per trovare poi le orme di questi pesci abissali che, così come è il loro nome, sono pesci che stanno nelle profondità marine e non sono certo pesci che sono sotto costa, così come penseremmo ad un lembo di terra e di mare così stretto. Possiamo andare avanti? Questo perché a parte queste nozioni tecniche che ci hanno messo un po' in relazione con quello che è la costa e quello che è il mare. Abbiamo scelto questo luogo. Abbiamo scelto questo luogo per la sua unicità, ma lo abbiamo scelto perché è vero che è poco studiato o è poco comunicato nella sua unicità, ma è vero anche che ci sono, per tornare al nostro tema principale, che è comunicazione e comunità o comunità e comunicazione, ci sono delle piccole realtà che invece vivono e tengono cura a questi luoghi. E quindi è stato il nostro primo, ma non unico incontro che abbiamo fatto come comunità di Traverso, ed è quello che però ci ha insegnato e che ci ha fatto mettere a punto un metodo di lavoro in qualche maniera, no? Una sorta di format. Possiamo andare avanti, Domenico?
Poi ti invito, abbiamo 2 minuti ancora.
Sì, ok, quindi vado veloce. Abbiamo quindi mitigato quella che è la nostra strategia di approccio e di comunicazione con le comunità. Che cosa abbiamo fatto? Abbiamo attivato la comunicazione, ne abbiamo misurato la sensibilità e abbiamo affrontato i temi, no? Questo per arrivare a che cosa? Momenti di costruzione di relazioni, azioni ed esperienze, e abbiamo attivato processi di coorganizzazione. Possiamo andare avanti? Così vado speditamente. Con chi lo abbiamo fatto e con chi abbiamo voglia di farlo? Con gruppi organizzati, cittadini, associazioni, istituzioni. Che cosa ci siamo portati e cosa abbiamo chiesto? Un'esperienza, la sostenibilità non solo dell'evento, ma anche delle buone pratiche di sostenibilità, no? Cioè come organizzare delle cose senza avere un impatto troppo forte sull'ambiente. L'etica nelle relazioni e una rete territoriale forte. Questo ci ha permesso di coinvolgere e anche di governare il processo, stando insieme sul territorio, riconoscendo ad ognuno le proprie competenze e attivando appunto una comunicazione attiva. Possiamo andare avanti? Queste sono esperienze pregresse che per esempio ho fatto e poi ho messo in relazione al gruppo di Traverso. Quindi so che la rete che lì si è animata aveva già delle esperienze rispetto alla tutela della spiaggia, rispetto allo studio dei pesci abissali. La foto che vedete in basso ci faceva vedere proprio le impronte lasciate da questi pesci abissali e che avevamo già sperimentato e visionato. Possiamo andare avanti? E quindi siamo arrivati poi a questa giornata. Lo scorso anno, in agosto, abbiamo messo insieme tutti e possiamo andare avanti, visto che dobbiamo andare veloce, e quindi siamo arrivati ad un pomeriggio tutti insieme, una comunità che si è mossa insieme, vai avanti, in maniera trasversale per età, per competenze, per attività che si svolgevano sul territorio e che si svolgono tuttora sul territorio. Possiamo andare avanti. Che cosa abbiamo messo insieme? Che cosa ci siamo portati a casa? Un risultato che ha coinvolto la comunità, che ha animato le strutture che erano un po' abbandonate, che ha sviluppato un senso comune intorno ad un tema che era quello della sostenibilità e del mare. Possiamo andare avanti? Sicuramente ci sono delle buone pratiche di comunità che abbiamo portato a casa, ma c'è un fattore che è quello della sostenibilità, la sostenibilità in questo caso economica di questi percorsi, e ce lo siamo chiesti e ce lo stiamo ancora chiedendo, seppur noi in maniera benefit proviamo a dare un impatto positivo sul territorio rispetto a questi temi. Possiamo andare ancora avanti. Abbiamo replicato, quindi con lo stesso format, coinvolgendo le persone del territorio, ad Amendolara, dove insiste una secca molto importante e che anche lì merita di essere studiata dal punto di vista della biologia marina, ma lo è, grazie anche alla presenza di della stazione zoologica Anton Dorn. Ma il modello che noi abbiamo visto lo abbiamo replicato ed è andata bene anche lì. Possiamo andare avanti? C'è qualche foto anche di quell'esperienza con Domenico sempre in prima linea, e quello che è un po' il nostro motto, sempre uniti come a bordo, ed è vero, perché la vela, oltre a farci gustare il mare in tutti i suoi elementi, ci aiuta anche a fare squadra, e questo è quello che probabilmente serve anche nella sostenibilità di un'attività comune a difesa del mare e dell'ecosistema. Grazie.
Grazie, grazie Maria P. Pia. Thank you very much, Maria Pia, for the presentation. I will just briefly resume the main points of the presentation of Maria Pia. So basically, Maria Pia was talking about the experience of Traverso. Traverso is the name of the crosswind from one mission to create a model for regenerative ports in coastal areas in near marine reserve in the main structure that points for a sustainable port. These are the actors that has been engaged into this network, into this Traverso project. And basically we make this position paper that I want also to share today, because I think is the best way. These 10 points properly are define how we can see the elements of a sustainable port. We did in English and Italian to foster, of course, both in Mediterranean, in the Italian context, but also abroad. And also we engage into this effort also a survey that we launch for all the coastal authorities. No, we asked to the coastal authorities which were the current practices of sustainability across the sea. And so it's come Traverso, no? The crosswind that refers to a situation that for the one that are used to sail is the wind that blocks the ship if you're not taking in the right direction. But that block is, we can say, an obstacle, but also a need to change. And so that's the need to change that the crosswind, the Traverso wind, has pushed to us, and has need to push to us if we are talking about, for example, marine litter and plastic pollution. Here is the team. Maria Pia already presented. Some of the colleagues cannot join today, but we have really to thank Professor Giulia Guerriero, Eugenio Luciani, Luciano Vulcano, and also the colleagues from the Anton Dorner that they cannot participate. They send us a video that we show at the end. And that's it. Now, very quickly, because the time is running, let's cross the Mediterranean and let's go now into the African context, starting from the main partner of this event, that is Giving Life to Nature Foundation. And so I want to give the floor first to Eric Amejako to introduce himself and also Giving Life to Nature volunteers, and also Kenneth Nana Moateng, that will talk about the amazing work that in Africa they are doing properly on beach littering and also on contrast marine pollution. So Eric and Kenneth, the floor to you. I don't know if you can hear us, Eric and Kenneth, the floor's to you. Hello? Okay, maybe in the meanwhile that they are preparing, I don't know if there is Allen Muhire there. So I think that, Sharif. This is Sharif in Jammu, that she is from Kenya. And also in Kenya, they're doing wonderful works regarding beach litter. So Sharif, I give the floor to you. Please, if you want to introduce yourself and also tell a little bit about your activity. Sharif, the floor is yours.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon.
Hi, Sharif. Welcome.
Hi. I hope I'm audible now.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. My name is Sharif Injamu. From Kenya. I'm a marine conservation ecologist working with the youth-led organization called Africa Climate and Environment Foundation. And I'm happy to join you for this wonderful day as we try to reflect on how to conserve, protect, and lead the initiatives that are protecting our ocean ecosystems. I wish to share something. I don't know if Dominica, you have it, the slides, please.
I think that Allen eventually can share. I saw here Allen. If you want to share the slide,
I'm trying.
okay. In the meanwhile, if you want to talk a little bit about your activity also as a marine ecologist.
Yeah, thank you so much. Personally, I'm my youth, just like apart from my fellow youth around there who are doing a wonderful job. I'm currently the country coordinator for Africa Climate and Environment Foundation. And part of the work, we are trying to reach out to these youth from grassroots level and engage them in diverse programs that are concerning ocean literacy, ocean and marine resource conservation, monitoring, at the same time trying to involve them in policy making and implement global forum. So we are privileged to be accredited by a number of United agencies, including the UNOC. And through that, given opportunity, we can take these young fellows from the grassroots level, from the global south, and also join the global forum and contribute and reflect on the initiative they're having on a local grassroots level. How can they be incorporated in formation of policy at the global forum? So along the Kenyan coast, we are working all the way from Banga to Lamu. We are working approach. We are involving the community, the schools. At the same time, we also trying to incorporate the elderly. So this one is giving us a blending platform where we can not only focus on scientific approach. Yeah, this one is helping us not only to focus on scientific approach, but with the elder group inclusion in our action plan, we're also trying to foster the indigenous knowledge into our works along the coastal strip in Kenya. So we have established a partnership with a number of schools along the coastal Kenya just to foster ocean literacy programs with those schools. And a part of our initiative is to encourage those schools to come up with what we call wildlife clubs. Through these wildlife clubs, we are organizing learning trips with these young learners to the marine ecosystem, and we really firmly amplify the hands-on action learning model where they can interactively and lively participate in this action, so that we not only feed them with knowledge, but we can also impact their skill development and the relationship with this ecosystem. So for my presentation, I just reflecting on actions we took, especially on the World Ocean Day. And this was a cleanup exercise. We are trying to address the global issue of plastic pollution, and we wish that our action echoes can also help to contribute in coming up with a just, a sustainable, and a well-informed global plastic treating. So ocean pollution has been on the rise, and is really not only affecting the marine fauna and flora, is also affecting our social well-being and our health as well, because over 30 billion people globally depend on this ocean, and this pollution trying to affect this ecosystem, we end up finding ourselves ingesting, especially the plastic. We have done a number of research, and looking at those research, unfortunately, some of the plastic has been found in the brain, some of them in placenta. So in short, this plastic is already infiltrating our body system. So this is part of the serious concern. We as young people along the Kenyan coast, we are trying to make sure we be part of the solution. Alan, kindly, if you can start up. So this is just a model ocean cleanup and how we do it. This is the part of a cleanup and a site that we identify after our mapping. We realized that this particular a beach, it is isolated, but very viable with turtle nesting. And another issue that the poaching of sea turtle has been on the very serious note with this particular beach. So we thought of on this World Ocean Day, we make sure we do a proper awareness, education of the community, and take part in this action of cleaning the beach. From the picture, you can see that's the action cleanup, and down there, we were doing the sorting of this litter. So this marine litter presented itself in various groups, which include flip-flops, plastic, glasses, metals. As one way of involving the community in this action, we are also trying to educate on proper disposal of this waste. Especially on the plastic part, we have tried to link this community with the recycling company, where from just doing an action that is also trying to solve the pollution issue within the marine ecosystem, they can also generate a livelihood from cleaning the ocean and taking care of plastic that is being disposed in our ocean. We also make sure as part of this work, we collect data, and this data, we look forward to be using it in any forum we get to influence.
Okay, I don't know if maybe we lost Sharif, but I really want to thank Sharif, okay, and Allen, because they are also part of the Climate Social Forum. And I can see really a lot of analogies also with the initiative that also we have seen with From Trash to Treasure. That means that this global problem of plastic is like pushing towards like global effort. And also say possible collaboration among different countries, different regions, and so on and so forth. I think that Alan, I don't know if you want to say a few closing words, then we can give the floor, and the time I think unfortunately is gonna finish to Eric and Kenneth. But Alan, just to close the intervention of Sharif, if you want to say a few words.
Thank you very much. And in his absence, I will say thank you to their team for the great work done. And thank you for the former speakers, all the data and the exposure you've given us. Yes, going back to the marine conservation, it is really, really, really at stake, and we need to do it as the youth. For what we start today, it is going to affect the globe, and it is going to help us all. I don't have much to say, Dominic, today. I'm really, really grateful for all the work we are doing as the youths.
Thank you very much, Alan. Thank you also for your words. Let's try again with Eric and Kenneth. Eric, Kenneth, I don't know if you are there. Let's move now from Kenya to Ghana. Just to remind one thing, Kenya. In Kenya, there is also the Nairobi and also the headquarters of UNEP, and they are they are doing an important work, for example, for the plastic treaty. They are running the INC negotiation in these years that are properly fostering for a global treaty to end the production of plastic. Okay, so thank you very much also for your contribution. Eric, Kenneth, I don't know if you are there, please. If no, maybe we are gonna just close the session with just one we can say message. As I said, unfortunately, we could not have some speaker today. I want just to share with you the message of Teresa Romeo from the Stazione Zoologica Anton Dorn. We have said that it's important also to think about marine conservation. And Teresa and her team, they're doing a wonderful job properly in conserve one important area in the Mediterranean, that is the Secca di Amendolara. Before Maria has
Hi,
shown
Domenico.
of Teresa.
I send you this message, this video by aircraft in the Strait of Messina. Sorry, but I cannot stay today with you. And I hope you have a good work. We, as a Stazione Zoologica Tondorn, you have our support to collaborate in your citizen science activity to contrast the marine litter, and you can have with the Stazione Zoologica of Calabria the opportunity to include our data in your activity. Bye bye, and have a good work.
Okay, so thank you very much, Teresa, also for, you can say, giving us, even we have not the possibility to join. So now, let's close now this session. I don't know, Eric, I would just want to call upon one last time to Eric. I don't know if you are there, or Kenneth, even though we can just close the session. So thank you very much to all the speakers. First of all, thank you very much to all the attendees online and also in presence here in Nice. One of the main points of this side event was to collect practices and collect also synergies to foster the so-called science policy interface. Here we are in a venue that is connecting expert biologists, marine biologists, but also policymakers and so on. And doing this kind of job, collecting practices, fostering and strengthening the synergies between who is going to decide, is going to study the marine environment, is a key point to, in a way, foster the mission by which, for example, we are here today in Ocean Conference. I'm here into the Out of Plastic Pavilion, and just in front of me, I see three key words: reduce, reuse, and recycle. That's the way in which we have to think about plastic, and not to throw into the marine environment, of course, but to find a way to foster circular economy, productive economy in terms also of restoration and let's say regeneration. And of course, if you are interested to any of the points that we have treated during this webinar, you can find out here our contact, and we are very pleased to share information, but also the position paper that we presented. We want really to share with you and to use that for you to take inspiration and so on. So thank you very much, everyone, and let's follow on the next appointment. One last appointment, as I said, is the International WNET Conference from 30th of September to October in Rome. Thank you very much, and have a nice day. See you. Bye.
Thank
Bye
you.
to all.
Bye.